How's it going, guys? Today I'm going to be showing you how to make chart topping speed garage like Bless and his track Craving For You. Here's a preview of my remake and what you'll have made by the end of this video. Strange thing I just noticed, although he's got 200 million views on his track, he's not really getting many gigs. So I think what he's doing is trying to maybe move into more speed garage, because a lot of the speed garage producers, Soul Mass Transit, Interplanetary Criminal, Ketama, Silver Bumper, all these sort of lot are always landing loads of gigs. So for some reason, even though they're much smaller artists, I have more of a loyal following. So people are actually showing up for their gigs. Whereas Bless, although he's making bangers and they've gone hella commercial, the main audience is probably like people going to the gym and like fucking gym thoughts and shit like that. They're not really going to show up to your gigs. Whereas like Silver Bumper, he's only got 115,000 monthly listeners, but he's already got 2 gigs booked just for February, so next month. And I imagine he'll have a fuck ton over the summer as well. So yeah, that's why getting streams isn't necessarily the most important thing, but having a loyal following is. Another example of this is Main Phase. If we look, he's got 111,000 monthly listeners. I mean, it's a good amount, don't get me wrong, it's a healthy amount. He's got some good streams on his belt, but fuck me, look at all the gigs he's got lined up. Look, he's got them literally all over everywhere, different countries, different dates. Like, he's fucking smashing it, do you know what I mean? Whereas like Bless, fair enough, he's got fucking bare streams, 200 million, he hasn't got the gigs on. And I'm not trying to like beef you or anything, Bless. I hope I'm not trying to throw shade, because don't get me wrong, your fucking tunes are bangers. Great, so let's firstly start with the bass. So yeah, these low bass notes, especially this one, really scratches my brain. It sounds really nice and deep. So yeah, let's have a look at the MIDI first, and then we move on to the serum patch. So we're in the key of B minor. I imagine when he first started, he just started with a nice simple progression like this. So just long, and then down like this, long like this. Which, I mean, some people would be happy with just that, but as you can hear, it's quite boring and doesn't really do the vocal justice. He's clearly quite a good producer and he knows what he's doing. So he's dropped these back and he's left that little gap here, which really gives it a nice bit of break for the vocal. I mean, yeah, he's a really good producer, as you can sort of hear from this bass progression. So yeah, he's gone the half note there, and then that is going to be an octave up, so B, and then he's pitched it up an octave, and then this is the 4th up, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we drop down again. This is going to be an octave up, and this is what, a 5th or a 6th? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 up. So I mean, not too much rhyme or reason to that, to be honest. Apart from that, it obviously just sounds good. And that, I imagine, again, yeah, is an octave up, and that again, there's not really much rhyme or reason, and then finish onto that last note. Great, so now let's move on to the sound design itself. So this is actually a patch from my Speed Garage Volume 2 pack, and it is the Craving For You Reese bass. The pack has tons of sick Reese basses for making Speed Garage like modern day producers like Bless, Interplanetary Criminal, Silver Bumper, and many, many more. Definitely check that pack out. You can get that from the link in the description. Great, let's show you how to make it from scratch. Great, so initiate preset, oscillator A and B on, digital, harmonic morph. We want the same, digital, harmonic morph. Pitch them down by 2 octaves. We're then gonna go minus 21 or 22, and then plus about 30. It's gonna sound like this. Not really the sound we're after. We're then going to go to this macro and we're going to drag it onto the wavetable position. We're then going to drag this up. Oh, make sure, sorry, that it's on both wavetable positions. Sounding better, still a bit clicky. So let's bring this envelope 1, the attack up. That's going to get rid of that horrible clip you can hear. Let's turn the filter on now. A and B, MG low, 18. Drag that down. Put it on keyboard mode. This basically means if you play a higher note, it's going to open up more. See? Bring that down. Bit of drive. Bit of fat. You can even try an MG low 24. And let's hear it. Let's go back to the 18. We can also change this macro. This is a little bit more subtle like this. If you go a bit overboard, then the vocal doesn't really shine through as much. Things that you can play with would obviously be the filter cutoff. So if we drag this down, put it on macro. You can let it more high end, it's up to you. And obviously play around with this macro. And also you could change the fine tune, so you can make it more dramatic or you can make it less dramatic. So we're going to sort of change the speed of that, a little wobble you can hear as well. So if you do it less, it will wobble less. Lastly, you could add a sort of reverb. Bring that decay down. Nothing above 3 seconds. Don't want to overdo it either. Maybe do a little low cut. Bring that high up. Just adjusting that attack, so I could feel like I could hear a little bit of clicking still. Put it on mono. This way it's never going to do like an accidental chord. Last thing you can do is add legato and always, and you bring the pauser up. This way it'll sort of glide between the notes a little more. If I exaggerate this. Obviously you don't want to do it too much. Great, now we've got the bass. Let's have a look at this bell. I will be the first to admit this is kind of nothing like the original. It's sort of just like a counter melody. Yeah, in this tutorial, I'm just going to go over, like, you can just create any sort of counter melody. I'm going to show you how to make one now. So if we grab this and let's delete this, just so we know we're in the same key. Let's have a look at the root note we're using. So we're using the B. So it's a good idea to go for the D or the F. So this is a third up, the D, and a fifth up would be the F sharp. Let's delete that and let's try and make our own. And it's obviously best to play it with the vocal and stuff in. So let's just loop this section and see how I'd go about creating a sort of counter melody. Again, I'm not promising it's going to be good because I'm doing it under pressure. Cool, yeah, so I've done that in about a minute. It obviously doesn't sound great. Let's just have a listen, see what we've got. But yeah, as you can see, I'm just sort of putting it in randomly. I'm making sure to leave like a nice bit of space for the vocal to breathe. If I was just to mash loads of notes everywhere, it would be too overwhelming and doesn't give the vocal any space. And then also you sort of repeat that, maybe change a few notes. I mean, again, not the best, nothing like theirs, but it's alright. The lead sound itself is actually from the Eurotrance pack. Just a sort of square wave. It's like a BSOD square, so analog BSOD square, pitched it up an octave, and then I've got like this envelope one, so I'm making it a pluck. If that was to be a different shape, so the original's like this, but also I'm making it nice and short, and then using that to curve it. Yeah, and the filter is being controlled by envelope 2, so it's also been dragged on there and made it into sort of pluck. Although even without that, it's still pretty plucky. Just because of the envelope 1 being so short. It's also got tons of like hyper and reverb on it. Cool, if I was to make one of these bell sounds from scratch now, then I'd just click initiate preset. I'd go like analog, maybe you could go basic shapes, square, could add some unison, filter. Bring the D-tune down. We could maybe FM from B. I'm literally just blanking this up on the fly. Digital, analog, be square, envelope, make it a bit pluckier. It's not the greatest, but add some reverb. The main pluck sound's pretty much made from a short decay like that, and sort of nice squares also work. Great, and lastly, let's have a look at the drums. So here is what the drums sound like. So these drums are from my Speed Garage Volume 3 drums pack. It's got loads of loops and one shots for making Speed Garage. This is the sort of top. And then that's just paired with this really fat kick. That kick is huge, as you can see, and it's got like no effects on. It's already had like the effects put onto it before I put it in the pack. We got this top. Lots of little elements, as you can hear, into it. A good Speed Garage top has lots of like high end, so you've got like closed hats and like offbeat hats and stuff like that. Like shakers. It's got a little ride in there as well. Basically, where all the energy of a Speed Garage track comes from is like the top end of the drums. So yeah, it's kind of important that you sort of get that right. This sort of offbeat snare, that gives it that sort of swing that Speed Garage track has. Otherwise, it'd be kind of a bit too housey. Great guys, thank you very much for watching. I will see you next week. Cheers.